Greetings, everybody, and welcome to another edition of STO World. Tony here with you for the first time in a very, very long time. And, well, what do we have to talk about? Well, it's been a very long time since I've recorded a video, and I have to tell everybody right now, I do apologize for that. And I've had many people emailing me, and many people asking for an explanation, and I'll give you one. The first thing is first. I had dealt with a lot of personal problems. I had just a lot of things going on in my family life that had to take priority over recording a video game for STO. Now, I have been playing the game for a very long time. I've still been playing the game throughout the time since I've done a video, so it's not like I haven't. But I wanted to let you know that I still have been playing the game. Not quite as much, but now that I have time, I'm going to be doing that. Plus, I have a radio show that I'm in charge of that I do. I'm in a car club, so I'm doing car shows during the summer. And just a whole bunch of stuff at the time really is what kind of took precedent for me. So, anyhow, what you're watching here is me on Ryza for the new Ryza event here this month. And I'm doing a little floating, flying high thing so I can get in Ryzian Corvette. And I'm just using the standard floater. I'm not participating in the cool events like dancing and stuff, but I will maybe do an episode on the events. But anyway, I do want to first of all thank everybody that has been watching the show. In fact, I only did 7 episodes, and I've had a decent amount of subscribers and people emailing me, not only subscribing to the channel, but emailing me in game. And I have been helping those of you out that have been asking me questions. So I do appreciate it, and the biggest reason I'm recording another video, besides my love of Star Trek and for this game, is the fact that there are a couple people subscribing a day, so I figured, why not resurrect the show? Today's a perfect time as ever, and, it's been a long time. A lot has come and gone. There was a Dominion lockbox. We have an expansion now, and a whole bunch of really cool new stuff going on, so this episode's mainly going to talk about the look of STO. And the new look that the game has, some of the new things going on in Star Trek Online that you're going to see. And I'm also going to give you a little bit of a bonus at the end. As many of you know, I have a ton of ships and things like that. And, there's a new Tal Shiar lockbox out there. So I'm going to show you one of my science ships, which I use mainly to get new Kara marks from like the Crystalline Entity and other things. But, I'm done with buying ships. And the reason I'm done getting ships is that I have no more ship slots. I have the allotment plus whatever Cryptic allows above the allotment, which is basically your rewards, your veteran rewards. But, I refuse to go and buy a Tal Shiar lockbox because I have no more ship slots. And I like all my ships. I have all my ships are mainly fleet ships from the base. And, I understand the reasoning why we don't have ship slots or why there is a limit, and I get that, but they should raise the limit because they have so many more ships this game offers than our slots. Right now, I have no shuttles or anything basically configured because I have all these fleet retrofits and everything else and lockbox ships. So, Cryptic, if you're watching this, I will probably never buy another lockbox again until they raise the ship slots. I have only one of my Andorian cruisers configured, or ships, even though I did buy the pack. But I won't buy any more ships until they raise the limit. And I'm not saying raise the limit by like 50. I'm saying raise the limit maybe by like 10 or 6. Now, if you did it by 10, it'd be cool. I'd take all the mirror ships that I have unpacked still. But I'm going to get this Rising Corvette for doing this, and I'm just going to have it in a package until I'm allowed to, until they raise the ship slot limit, which I hope they do. Bridge officers, I understand. As many of you may or may not know, I exploited the 100 bridge officer bug, and I'm probably part of the reason they put the limit on it to 44. I have about 140, something along those lines. So, and I believe I'm done with the flying high, or am I done? I don't know. Oh, maybe not. Anyway. So this is the little floating thing we're doing on Ryza right now. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the new features of the game. Then on top of that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you one of my science ships. It's probably a ship. The reason I'm showing it is, number one, this isn't like an episode where I'm featuring one specific ship. And it's more of a novelty ship. I don't really use it in PvP. I use it mainly for PvE stuff and fleet actions. It's a good little support ship. It is the Rhode Island, I guess the Rhode Island class, which remember they put the Rhode Island class out. I think it's a tier 2 ship. Well, they have a fleet retrofit of that, which is actually it's a retrofitted science ship, but it's a tier 5 version of that ship, which is pretty cool. I really like it quite a bit. So we're going to take a look at that. Plus, I'm going to give you guys a little run-through of Khitomer Ground Elite, or Khitomer Stasis, or what do they even call it now? I don't even know. Let me look. Khitomer Stasis, and can't get to it. It's called, where is it at? Khitomer Stasis. It used to be Khitomer Ground Elite, which is still a great mission. And I had a good run with a couple people not that long ago. So what we're going to do is probably head back to K7 here. And the game has added a lot of really cool features. In fact, I am very, very impressed with not only the expansion. See, when you look at the expansion of this game right now, it's not just Romulans that we're talking about. It is the expansion of the game, because it didn't stop with just adding the Romulan faction and ships. It added a whole bunch of stuff. And we're here on Space Station K7. Checking everything out over here. And kind of my home away from home while playing Star Trek Online. So, anyhow, people are asking me, what do you think about the game? Like, what features do you like? People are asking me my opinion. I'm going to say this. My opinion of the game is that the new expansion is awesome. And, you know, I think I kept my first video up, but, you know, many of my friends in Battlefleet Olympus that have been playing the game for as long as we have, we've seen, I mean, we have guys that have beta tested it. I wasn't around for beta, but we had people that beta tested it, and, you know, we talk about just how much different the game is now compared to how it used to be. I mean, there's new sets now. You got a lot of really cool stuff as far as sets go and things like that. So, anyhow, I'm going to discuss the new features. I'm going to give you a brief overview of all the new stuff. You are going to get a look at the USS Solstice, which is my Fleet Science Vessel Retrofit. It's basically a Rhode Island class, and, you know, it's nothing special about this ship. I mean, I haven't done anything insanely crazy with her, but she's a tough little ship. She's a great little support ship that I do use on missions here and there. I use her mostly on STFs. I will use this ship on attacking the crystalline entity, and we're going to attack the crystalline entity as well. So I'm going to go over briefly what we have going on, but I am going to be in the process of doing a lot of stuff. So check out, there's a new LCARS interface. As you see, I think it looks a lot cooler. The whole interface of the game is a lot better. It's a lot smoother. I think that things flow so much better. And I'm really digging the new expansion. I love this. I mean, you got the real-time motion of your character kind of sitting there, and your equipment sitting here, and things like that. So, anyhow, I want to, and we're going to do tons of episodes. I have a ton of episodes planned, guys. I am back. I am going to be doing this show a lot. And when I go over the new features of this game, remember that I will do an individual episode about each thing. Like, for example, we have Nimbus 3 now as part of the Romulans, as part of Romulan space with a lot of cool missions. I'll go over that. I'll go over New Kara Prime. I'm going to do an episode on each one of my ships. And again, I have both the Dominion lockbox ships and things like that. But again, as I stated before, I do not have any Romulan lockbox ships because I refuse to buy them, simply because of lack of ship slots. But hopefully Cryptic is listening. Hopefully they up the ship slot limit maybe by like 10. I don't know. Enough to get all my Endorian ships and some of my Mirror Universe ships. And, you know, I understand a typical player may not use that. And I also understand that the stress it does put on the server. So, again, I understand all those things. I'm just hoping that at some point they can make it happen. And, of course, I'm still proud to be part of Battlefleet Olympus. So with that, here's what's planned. I'm going to go over the new features, some of the new stuff. I'm going to go an overview of what we have. Then you're going to see not only the USS Solstice in action, but you're going to see an instance of Khitomer Ground Elite, or Khitomer Stasis Ground, I guess, as you might want to call it now, because they renamed the STFs a while back. But anyhow, so what are some of the new features? Well, first thing I'm going to go to, as you see the new LCARS interface, we're going to look at the different sets of traits. Now, here you got the traits here, available traits. Now, before you were only allowed 2 extra traits besides the ones for your species, if you look here at some of the passives coming on here. But now your trait pool is a lot higher. And for each rank that you go up, I do have a couple other tunes. Mainly I use this tune, but I do have a couple other tunes that, you know, as you go up in rank, you get an extra slot to put a new trait in. So you have a human required trait. And when you first started out making a character, you had 2 other traits from the human trait pool. So, and then of course you get a trait, tactical trait, based on your career path. So, the trait thing you get respect tokens for if you want. I have 8 respect tokens because it's counting the ones that I've earned from skill respects and the ones I earned from vet rewards. So let's check it out. These are the available traits to me as a human. Space traits, ground traits. I have a special trait that somebody gave me a pack that from the Romulan lockbox, the Tal Shiar thing, that unlocked a special trait which I didn't use. But anyhow, let's check it out. So not only do traits count for more, but they give you a detailed description. It's really cool, and you kind of go over what some of this stuff does. It's pretty slick, and I'll go over why I selected what I selected. But these are the ones I haven't selected. Pretty cool stuff. Mental discipline is one. Not bad. Strike team specialist. You got stubborn. Sure-footed. And your special traits. So, when I first started out my character on Star Trek Online, I had the accuracy trait and warp theorist were the 2 that I picked. Accuracy is a given if you're playing any type of PvP. The more accurate your weapons are, the better. Obviously, if you can't hit anything, your weapons are no good. But I did take the 10% accuracy trait. I still kept it. Crippling fire is really cool because what this does is it's an accuracy penalty against an enemy when you do a critical hit on that enemy. Elusive, and I do a lot of critical hits because I'm maxed out on all the tactical skills. Elusive is cool. It's great to have a little bit extra defense, considering that, you know, I'm not an engineer. This is a tactical character, so it's mainly there to do damage. So I do pick some defensive stuff. Peak health, toxic damage, resist. It's a ground trait. I like it. Resilient, again, a ground trait. Physical damage resistance and energy damage resistance. Now these are passives. They're not something that's crazy, but together they're great. Soldier, ranged weapons, damage, crit severity. You got that here, plus energy damage and then plus 10% critical severity. Techie, I kind of like this because being a tactical officer, you do have things that help you do a lot of damage, but having this to help your starship hull repair, especially when you're using an escort that's under a lot of fire, helps out tremendously. Then warp theorist, that helps your power levels and power transfer rate. So these are my traits. This is why I selected them. Very simple. And I love the way that they did this. They made traits as something in this game that matter a lot more than they did. And you get more of them. So props to the devs on that. Great job. I love the fact that they did this. You can customize your characters a lot better. So now we're going to go look at the rep system. And you have the events rep system. Now, when this was going on, this is when I had a majority of my personal issues going on, so I didn't get to do much with the crystalline entity as I might, but I'm sure they'll bring that event back because they still kept your progress in it. This is where I'm trying to get the Ryzian Corvette, which, unfortunately, I won't be able to unpack on this character because of the ship slot rule. Boo! Anyway, New Romulus, I've basically... As you see, this is the rep system for this. And I'm going to give you some advice on what to unlock on this. I've obviously unlocked all the stores on the Romulan rep system. Nukara Strike Force. And I'm going to talk about this specifically. Well, Task Force Omega, I'm sorry. And I'm just kind of chilling out here and giving myself some dilithium farming, I guess you could say. And I've hit my 8,000 for the day, but keep doing it because I don't buy much from this store anymore. And the big reason why is I have all the sets, and I have tons of Mako Mark 12 and Omega Mark 12 sets and a bunch of Borg sets that I bought before the big conversion. So, well, earned, I guess you could say. Because you had those requisition things or whatever back in those days. You couldn't buy it from this rep system. So, anyhow, Nukara Strike Force. Now, this is, you have to unlock Nukara marks, kind of like the Omega marks and the Romulan marks, okay? You get Nukara marks from going on Nukara Prime. You can do these fleet events, Crystalline Entity, Rio Station, which is really cool. And a lot of them are pretty slick. And what I've been doing is I unlocked, obviously, I'm at Tier 5 rep for this. Now, I picked, you get different things. Now, here's the thing. Whereas this increases your maximum health and, plus 5% hull, and I think this is 20% chance to apply damage over time. I mainly picked these. I like these passive traits from the Nukara thing. For example, ignoring 5% of your target's shields in ground combat. The same thing goes for ignoring your target shields in space. And then, of course, 1 to 100% chance to trigger a heal over time and gain shield resistance. Now, I like this trait so much better. And then this one I picked. And you get basically our energy weapon training, projectile. It basically helps your weapons training here. And then, of course, this trait, which, honestly, this thing really, I don't know. It's really not worth much. I'm not a big fan of it. It doesn't really do much. It does a little bit of damage, but honestly, not much. I think this trait, for what it is, should be raised. The effectiveness should be raised, but hey, that's just me, right? So, my whole mission now is to unlock everything in the store. So these sonic anti-proton weapons, cannons, refracting Tetran weapons. I think I got, what am I doing? The purple sonic anti-proton pistols. I want to give myself the option to be able to buy this stuff. Then eventually what I'll do is I will go here to do the sets eventually. But I will eventually do that. So anyhow, okay, back here again. And sometimes you take a break from doing these videos. So we were talking a bit anyway about the traits and all that other stuff. So now you're looking at the reputation system. Once I start earning more marks in the Nukara, I only concentrated on it enough to get everything unlocked in the store. But I will start doing the sets. I'll start with the space set, the 2 space sets you can get from there, and we'll go from there. We'll do specific episodes on specific sets. Now, other cool features that are in the game, besides, you got the dilithium mine. You got the embassy, but you got the dilithium mine here, which is kind of cool. You can get different unlock things for getting advanced consoles, commodity project discounts, things like that. Haven't really, sadly, contributed anything to the mine. Guys in my fleet are that good. I contributed a little bit, but these guys have been doing the projects in it. So we're coming along with the dilithium mine. Gives us discounts and get some consoles and things like that. So we'll go through that. When you do uniforms, the whole interface for that has changed. And here's the really cool thing. This is what I love about this, is the fact that you got new fleet actions in here, obviously, and you have so many features. Where do I even go? I'm just kind of sitting there and doing whatever. So, but it's cool when you go to do your uniform. You got that the whole thing is cool because that whole interface changed, and there's a lot of cool stuff. You also have Nimbus 3, which if you go, it doesn't let me do it. Probably because I'm not in that specific map. But you go to Nimbus 3. There are some cool aspects there, as well as, I don't even know where to begin. You got some cool stuff. Now, the new lockbox, you do get something cool. Do get some cool stuff in there. Don't get me wrong. And, we will go and check out other ships that I have here down the line. Like the Annihilator, my Dominion Carrier, and what's the other one? The Decimator, I think it is. Yeah, there we go. These ships are cool. I'll go over these. I have a lot of ships I can go over here, but just there's so many new features. It's hard to explain. But this is the new look of Star Trek Online. Looks a lot different. What I'm going to do here is give you a shot at what goes on with the crystalline entity. Before I do that, though, I'm going to go over the USS Solstice, kind of give you an idea of what I have this bad boy armed with. Nothing really super special. Your typical phasers. Now, here's the thing that's cool. Before they went over to the new conversion, they got rid of the phaser beam arrays and the weapons that have that do Borg damage, basically. And to Borg NPCs. Basically, 7.5% chance to do 1,000 radiation damage against the Borg. Not bad. I mean, these are Mark 12 phasers. Most of my ships are geared this way. So basically I got four of these beam arrays, a couple torpedo launchers. I mean, this is a science ship. It's not like I'm doing anything special, per se. One of the new features is the warp core. And I haven't really bought any of those warp cores yet. I'm going to wait to do that, to buy them, as far as the dilithium mine goes, when it lets us do that. But this one, it just gives you bonus power to your auxiliary power, which helps your science stats. And I'm rocking an Aegis set. I do have a bunch of these that I crafted like 2 years ago still, after arming my ships with Mako and Omega sets. But basically the fact is that I have this going on. So anyway, this set's pretty cool because what it does is it has, even though a lot of people have discounted it and a lot of people have kind of written it off in a sense, it still has some pretty cool effects. Like, for example, when you're getting attacked, it adapts to whatever the energy damage is that's going on. So you have, combining with the Aegir hyper impulse engines. Well, basically, the reactive shielding is what you have, and then the Thoron distortion field is what you're looking at. So, 5% bonus defense. So you have that, and then you also have the reactive shielding, which is really cool. It also works if multiple enemies have different energy types. It will resist both of them at the same time. So, not bad. I mean, you could still craft it. They still go for a decent price on the exchange. I still have a bunch of them. If I come and show you my bank, for example, I do have a bunch of these. Hopefully, when they allow us more ship slots, I'll unpack these Mirror Universe ships and kind of go from there. So, I have a lot of stuff in here, I know. But, yeah, lots of Aegis sets. Too bad they're bound, otherwise I'd sell them. And here we go. So I'm going to queue up an instance of the crystalline entity. You can kind of see my sign ship and its glory and its fashion, I guess. And queue up for a public game. Nothing crazy. And I'm not going to do the Elite. I'm just going to do the regular one, so it doesn't take as long. But the Solstice is a cool little ship. I mean, the great thing about it is that it has a lieutenant commander tactical slot, which I like. Just a regular lieutenant engineering. And they have the 3 science slots. One's an ensign, lieutenant, and a commander slot. And my abilities are basically geared as a support ship, but mainly to fight the entity. And you'll see what I mean here in a second. All right, here we go. So you'll see how I have this ship kind of set up here. Kind of in the middle of a game, but when you go against the entity, you have all the Tholians surrounding you and things like that. It's a cool little ship. It really is. I definitely dig it quite a bit. I like the Rhode Island skin on it. But anyway, this is what I have going on. So I just use a standard beam array overload 1, high yield 2, fire at will 3. engineering team, and then, you know, shield. How should I put it? Not shield inversion. What do they call it again? I forget now. But I'm sorry, reverse shield polarity. Then you have your hazard systems. Right here, hazard emitters, science team, shield strength 3, tractor beam repulsor 3. Then I have the regular tractor beam and polarized hull 2, and then of course tachyon beam 1. So I'm going to attack the entity. Well, every time you attack it, when it absorbs, get out of the wake of the shockwave it sends out, because it will destroy you, depending on how weak your ship is. But you're going to see me attack it here in a second. Oh, I got some Tholians attacking me, but I ignore them. But I have the repulsors on. The reason I have repulsors 3 is because when it starts bringing the crystal shards at me, I will repulse them. Basically, and that's what's great about it. So, it's more, again, a support ship. Nothing crazy. I'm being brutally attacked here. But, yeah. You see me pushing stuff away. Look at this. I'll just kind of edge myself away out of the way here. But that's basically what I have the ship doing. I do have other configurations, depending on what I'm using it for. Like if I'm using it in STF or something like that. It does come in handy in the cure or in infected space if you are looking to... And now these things are really actually annoying me. Look at this. But, basically I'm just concentrating my fire on the entity. And these shards will do a massive amount of damage if you're not careful. So... Wow, I'm being attacked from every angle you could think of. What did I do to deserve this? So... And I got destroyed. Once these things get a hold of you, it's pretty easy to... They will do some massive damage to you, but... Anyway, that's my wonderful science ship setup, and I'll just kind of respawn here. Now, it doesn't really do any damage to you as far as a lot of crazy stuff, but yeah, so I'm going to kind of attack the entity here and kind of go from there. So basically, you attack it. Once you blow it up, you do get a pack for Nukara marks. Now, if you do it to the Elite, you get more marks, obviously. I'm not really doing it, the Elite, mainly, and yeah, when that many Tholians get a hold of you, it's really difficult to get anywhere, but repulsors work great. Pushes away all the crystals, things of that nature. So, I guess I should destroy some of these things. And look at that, it's got blown up again. And that is from the shockwave. Yep. That's what happens to you when it absorbs and it basically comes after you. So not too bad. I mean, it is what it is. I use the ship in the cure actually quite a bit. It does very well as a support cruiser / science ship, but yeah, when you go in this close to the entity, probably not very bright to do that. You will see a pretty good run in Khitomer Ground Elite. And yeah, so some of these ships do annoy me, but it is what it is. So you can check it out. I mean, these are the abilities I'm using. Nothing special. You know, and you basically get the thing down to a certain amount. Now, I like to use a lot of really cool stuff. I like to use the multiple shields because it does keep your shields up as far as transfer shield strength goes. And then I guess I should debuff it a bit. I mean, this always helps as well. But you do get attacked by Tholians. Now, for whatever reason, it seems like I'm just getting bombarded. I don't know why, but normally I'm drawing a lot more aggro than I usually do. when I'm in this ship. I don't know why. But you get an idea. This ship is great in a support role. Like I said, I use it in a PvP match. Not with this configuration, obviously, but I did use it with a... And we did blow it up. I got 3rd place somehow after getting blown up twice. That's sad. So, here you go. I'm going to leave the map. And we're back. And you'll see with this pack, you can unpack the marks. So what you do is you go and use Nukara marks. Bada bing, bada bang. Good stuff. And so that's pretty much it. Some small features. That's one of them. And pretty much, for lack of a better term, you know, we pretty much have things going. So with that, I'm going to leave you here really quick with a run of Khitomer Stasis Ground Elite. Get some tunes going on, and yeah, again, I'm glad to be back. Sorry for this episode being as drawn out as it is, but you kind of get an idea of the different features that are offered on here now.
Hold on, the middle of It's the quiet before the roar. It's the time when all will be decided. If nobody heeds the echoes on the way. It's the end of the chain. Destruction of the field. It's the end of our reign. We've seen it all before. It's the end of man's evolution. For nobody heeds the echoes on the way. Do you hear the sirens? Do you see the burst? Do you feel the fire? I can hear them crying. I can see the fear. I can feel them dying. Do you hear them calling? Do you see the hurt? Do you feel them falling? I can hear the wailing. Oh, I can see the wrath. I can see them fading. Washed away by scorching sail fire. Do you hear the sirens? Do you see the burst? Do you feel the fire? I can hear them crying. I can see the fear. I can feel them dying. Washed away by scorching sail fire. Silence so loud, not a soul left alive. Darkness a shroud. 2085. All our dreams have disappeared. They burned down. Tree of life, confirming all that we have feared. 2085. Don't give up, remember how we felt. Fire rushing through our veins. Ooh, now's the time to rise up from our head. Now's the time to free our brains. The meaning of life is to give life meaning. Go too fast, move too slow. Restore the balance between thinking and feeling. Open up and let it flow. No side has won. Struggle to survive. Our quest here is done. 2085. disappear. Our race will not thrive. Time will not recall a year. Don't give in. Remember all we learned. The spark of life it did ignite. We're again the race for which we yearn. We're again a will to fight. We must resolve this human equation. We're already dead if we don't try. To welcome challenge, generic variation. Stop the machines, prepare to die.